Welcome to Mainland Television Regional News. I'm Graham O'Brien, and today's news: promoter talks up festival concept, Victory has talent show coming, dance a night away, and more. A new festival concept by Nelson's promoter and business consultant Stu Allen could see a new food and music festival touch down in Nelson. With support shown from private investors, numerous business luminaries and political leaders, he has plans to promote Nelson as New Zealand's premier outdoor concert destination. Chrissy Small caught up with Stu in our Nelson studio this week.
Now this is an exciting concept for Nelson. It's a potential new festival. Can you tell me a bit about it, Stu?
Sure. Showcase Nelson's looking to launch a new festival, celebrate our food and beverage. But people are looking, 40 plus market are looking for an excuse to get to Nelson. We're not wanting to provide constructive reasons for people to visit Nelson more often. Right.
Okay. Tell me a bit about this festival. What would be so different about having this festival as opposed to the current festivals we have?
Current festivals we have, they're doing very, very well. They're highly successful. We've got a very, very busy summer season. Sophie Kelly and Annabelle Norman and the teams that surround them have done a fantastic job so far, and Nelson's renowned for its festivals. This festival's a little different. We're wanting to bring together all of the producers of produce from across the region together. We've had Hooked on Seafood because it was seafood alone, whilst we're the largest seafood processing port in the Southern Hemisphere. Seafood alone, we've had Taste Nelson, again, was growing and was looking to be highly successful. We're wanting to bring all the players together in a showcase of Nelson produce, from fruit to seafood to salmon to right through to the smaller success stories of Pix Peanut Butter and Proper Crisps and the likes. But we're talking an event that'll start at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. It'll have 6 to 8 soloists from around the country, soloists or duets. Then 2 or 3 bands and then a main international act. So it's a day long. It's not necessarily a concert per se, it's a festival that we're wishing to establish. Right. Ultimately so that you can't call anything iconic until it's been around for 10 years, but I'm wanting to establish a pilgrimage for a 40 plus market that gives them an excuse to come to Nelson and have a great time while they're here. Right. Just out of curiosity, 2 Fleetwood Mac concerts in New Plymouth, 19 and 20 December 2013. Venture Taranaki did an economic impact report, and that injected 23.8 million into the Taranaki wider community. 3 months later, WOMAD injects another 14.5 million. So part of our intent is wanting to create economic injections into Nelson on a regular basis. Years 1, 2 and 3 will focus on 1 event per annum. Years 4 and 5, 2 events, and ideally beyond year 6, 3 events per annum.
Great. Look, it sounds fantastic. It looks like you've got all the figures and the numbers, and you've got a lot of support coming out of the woodwork, I believe. We're
very well prepared. Yeah. It would have been dangerous and naive to have gone public with the concept without having the full team in place. Right. And having some strong levels of interest from potential investors. So we're looking for 10 investors. It's a closed group investment opportunity. It's not for public release. If we did that, we'd require a prospectus, which is a pretty considerable investment. Yeah. We've got strong levels of interest at the moment, but the next 2 or 3 weeks are going to be pretty busy in terms of ensuring that the funding's in place to be able to make it happen. Right.
Okay, so big name acts, what are you looking at?
We'll start off with, well, we've actually turned a couple of events or a couple of acts down already, largely because they were too male orientated. Right. They'd be great for a beer swilling type event, but that doesn't fit with the values of Nelson. So ultimately down the track, who are we wanting to? Annie Lennox, Simple Minds, Simply Red, Don Henley, ideally Neil Diamond and Elton John down the track once we can afford budgets of that sort of size. So it's heritage artists.
Yeah, James Taylor perhaps?
James Taylor would be fantastic, wouldn't he?
Oh, yes, I levitated out of his concert. It was so fabulous. He's one of the iconic
fantastic stage man as well.
Yeah. How can people be a part of this? I mean, you've got your website up, you've got a Facebook page. How can people find out more and perhaps do the survey that you've got on your website?
Sole purpose of going live, normally when you go live you would come out with the standard, this is the act, this is the venue, this is the price, this is the date. We've gone live for the sole purpose of wanting to get some feedback from the Nelson community. Showcasenelson.co.nz, as you said, that the website is live. Facebook has a presence. The back end of the website, has a survey on it, and we're wishing to encourage as many Nelsonians as possible to complete a 12 to 15 minute survey.
Yeah.
Sorry, 12 to 15 question survey.
Okay.
And we've incentivised that. We haven't drawn that as yet. So there's a year's supply of Pic's peanut butter and a really impressive Hessian pack of Hessian bag of proper crisps.
Yes.
And 12-month subscription to Wild Tomato and a double pass to the first concert. There's 3 separate prize packs. So yeah, please complete the survey. We're really fortunate in Nelson to have the benefits of having a facility like Trafalgar Park right in the heart of the city. It's perfect for a food and beverage festival. It's not perfect for a concert venue, but it provides us with an awesome facility to be able to prove our point, both to Nelsonians and the investors, that we can make this work in Nelson.
Yeah.
The largest amount of feedback that I've had to date is that the region needs some fresh ideas and some new thinking. Mm. So and it supports a number of councils' ideals or objectives in terms of wanting to generate more energy in the city centre. Nelson's been kind to me. It provides me with an opportunity to be able to give back as well. Got a world-class team in place where we're pretty much ready to go. To answer your question, when are we looking at first event? At the moment we're looking at Sunday the 14th of February, the day after Opera in the Park. So we get some opportunities to work alongside council who have been superb to work with to date. Yeah. A nice win-win whereby we can share the production costs of stage, sound, lighting and screens. So Sunday, yeah, pencil Sunday 14 February, Valentine's Day.
Oh, right, okay. Oh, that's great. Well, that's a great way to get people out and couples together, go and enjoy a bit of
absolutely
nice time.
We're in final negotiation stages with 2 quite large heritage acts. It'd be a double stage. We should have more news on that by the end of this week.
Great. Thank you and best of luck.
Thank you for your time.
With Council's plan to invest in a purpose-built pet cremator at a cost of $154,000, 2 directors of a new pet crematorium business are asking why should ratepayers fork out funds when their service will adequately provide for those people who have lost their pets. I spoke to Joan and Arthur from Pet Cremations and Memorials about their thoughts on whether council should be in competition to private enterprise and whether that's ratepayers' money well spent.
So this is our passion, our commitment to animals and their grieving owners. We really want to help owners and also send off your animals in a dignified and caring way, in a loving environment. That's what we're all about.
Great, and the pets are part of our family, so we want to give them like you say, a dignified send-off as much as we can. So, okay, Arthur, can you tell us a little bit about the submission you put into council?
Yes, certainly. We are ramping up to do our own cremations. To date, we've used the Wakapuaka crematorium. They are looking at refurbishing their cremators and investing in a new cremator. We feel that as private enterprise, being ourselves are able to provide that service, the council should bow out of that commitment. They've allocated money. Allocating is not the same as spending. They can stop short of spending and save the Nelson area ratepayers a lot of money.
Sure, and up to this point, the council has been providing the services where no one else has. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Yes.
Yeah. So now you're saying to council there's no need to provide this service. We've got it covered. Private businesses has stepped in, basically in a nutshell.
Yes.
In a nutshell, yes. We do not have the cremator yet on site, but it's bought and paid for. It's awaiting shipment.
Right. Well, so it's coming into the country. And when do you think it would be, just for the people, when do you think it would be set up, ready to go?
Probably
best case scenario.
Maybe 3 months, 4 months.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and in view of that, we think that the council should be adopting a sinking lid policy rather than a new investment policy.
Sure, yeah, certainly does. I mean, that's what we do. Private business comes in and council no longer provides that service. I think a lot of people would agree.
There'll be plenty of other areas where that money would be welcome
really
spent.
usefully spent.
Sure. Thanks very much for your time. It's very interesting. We'll let you know the outcome when we talk to the Mayor and ask for some comment.
Thank you.
Thank you, Graham.
Thanks. We asked people in Nelson whether they thought council should be in the pet cremation business at a ratepayer cost of $154,000. How do you feel about council building a new pet cremator at the cost of $154,000 when there's a private business starting up the same thing?
I think it's wasted money, actually. There's a lot better things that we could be spending our money on.
Why don't the SPCA do it?
If there's one running already, it seems maybe like a bit of overkill, as it were, to make another one. Yeah, if there's Nelson's not such a big place that maybe we need to. Yep.
Oh no, it's not council's business. That's a private enterprise.
To be honest, I think they could probably spend their money better elsewhere.
Do we really want to be doing that? Like sort of, are they in the business of being in business? I know that, council is a business, but like we should be fostering business. That's the business they're in.
Award-winning cafe Zumos will not be closing and plans to continue trading while their landlord Nelson City Council undertakes earthquake strengthening on their cafe premises. Chrissy spoke to cafe owner Alan Chambers, who is currently in Wellington this week overseeing the development of a Zumo brand cafe in his new Tory Street site.
Alan, Zumo, what a fantastic cafe Zumo is. I go there often. Now, how, as a customer, am I going to be affected by these proposed earthquake strengthenings that are going to be taking place there?
Well, we have a number of details to work out. The objective is to minimize any disruption. Our hope is we can arrange all the work in the front of house to be after hours, and any work in back of house have little or no disruption whatsoever.
Okay, so people are going to be able to go there for their coffee, their chats, and do their internet surfing or whatever quite comfortably then?
That's the goal. There are some challenges. There will be some welding ongoing, so we'll have to sort out how we can manage ventilation. Obviously, if there's any incursion of nasty odors to our customers, then we have to draw back and take another route. But council is working with us to achieve that.
That's great. So look, Alan, I believe you would have liked to have actually purchased that building at some stage?
We had a discussion with council recently, and we did indicate our interest in acquiring the property, and they, at this point, have not released it, if you will, but they may in the future.
Right. Now, speaking of buildings, I believe you've just opened a new business over in Wellington.
Well, we purchased a property at 1 Tory Street, Wellington, and we are in the thick of the fit-out process. Looks to be a pretty flash coffee venue in Wellington, so I'm very excited to see that come to fruition.
Oh, look, Alan, now, obviously, has this been a goal for you for some time to do this?
We've been looking for the ideal property from New Zealand, all over Australia, and in the West Coast U.S. Was over in San Francisco last year, and last fall, this property in Wellington popped up on the radar, and it says, "That's Zumo." So went in and started a negotiation process, and here we are, and hope the folks in Wellington like what we're creating.
Well, I suppose it'll be along the same kind of lines as what you've got here in Nelson.
We've attempted to capture the same look and feel. It is a car yard, but it's a more modern car yard. The look and feel of the Wellington location will be a bit different, but as I said, we're hoping to retain what makes Zumo Zumo.
Right. Now, Alan, I guess you'll be back soon, and when do these earthquake strengthening machineries or mechanisms kick into place then?
Well, we have a meeting, I think, this week to discuss the options from the contractor. So that's when we're going to be really digging into the actual logistics of how we go about managing this work effort.
Right. Okay. So it's not immediate, but it will happen.
The objective is to pretty much start work either the end of this month or early June, but I suspect sorting through the various details will take a little longer than one would perhaps imagine.
Right. Well, let's hope that there's little disruption to your business and to your customers. It's such a great venue. I've introduced a number of my interns to your shop, and they love it.
Well, we appreciate that. Well, I view this as a necessary effort in the long journey. So it'll make our customers and our team safer.
Otago University is in Nelson Tasman region this week with 20 resource management planning students working with the Tasman and Nelson councils as part of their practical research program on 4 topics. A review of the effectiveness of the Waimea Inlet Management Strategy, the opportunities for a joint reserve and forest management strategy on Rabbit Island, gaining a better understanding of future local urban housing preferences, coastal hazards, understanding planning options for at-risk private and public land. As part of their visit, the students will be conducting site visits, interviews and surveys of residents and visitors. Council staff will be assisting them at various stages of their visit. If you are contacted by the group, please assist where possible. It is an opportunity for all parties involved to learn more about current planning issues. This year's flu vaccination has been widely rolled out in Marlborough and Nelson, keeping the health sector busy as general practices, workplaces, rest homes and residents prepare for this winter's influenza season. Nelson Marlborough District Health Board Medical Officer Dr. Ed Kittle said that one of the myths that need to be dispelled is that you can catch the flu from the flu injection, and that's not true, since there's no live virus in the vaccine. This government-funded flu vaccination is made up of 3 virus strains predicted to arrive in New Zealand by the WHO. They are the California, Switzerland and Phuket strains. These free vaccinations are available until the end of July. Are you in favour or against the flu jabs, and why?
I think it's good for a certain population who need it, the elderly and people who are at risk. But for myself personally, I've never had the flu and I've never had a flu vaccination. So I don't plan to have one this year either. Yeah, it's a personal choice.
It is.
I get a flu jab, yeah. I think they're a good thing, yeah.
Anything that protects a person from getting sick, I'm all for.
Absolutely. I'm sorry, but I had the flu and landed up in hospital last year, and so I've already had mine this year. No, definitely in favour of them. It's not worth it.
I have had flu jabs before, and I must admit at the time I didn't get the flu. And so when we're talking about productivity in the workplace, I think if it works, it's got to be good for you.
Dr. Kittle said that he encourages everyone to get this year's vaccination, as getting immunised against this influenza virus will help protect you and those around you. The New Zealand X Factor may have just finished on the telly, but that does not mean that talent shows are all over, especially for us here in Nelson, with one local suburb of Victory planning a talent event this month. I caught up with Chelsea Jacobson of the YMCA in Victory to find out more. Chelsea, thanks for taking a bit of time to talk to us today. The YMCA's got an event coming up. Can you tell us a little bit more about this?
Yeah, so the YMCA, the Youth Services team, we're doing an event. It's called Victory's Got Talent, and it's being run by a group of youth, and they're called the Junior Raise Up Team. And it's just a bunch of youth that we got together who wanted to learn more about leadership skills, learning a little bit about how to run their own small-scale events. And so this is kind of like their final project. This is what they're going to try to prove out of everything they've learned. Yeah.
And how about the event itself?
So the event is going to be held at the Victory Community Centre. There's only room for about, I would say, 180 to 200 people in there. It's a free event, gold coin donation, if you have it. And we have about 6 spots left for contestants if anyone wants to join. yeah, we really need a couple more contestants because that'll really make it awesome. We've got about 9 already, but we just want a few more just so that way it runs smoothly.
Sure, and when you say talent, what kind of talent are you looking for? Any in particular?
We're looking for anything really. It's juggling, yodeling, whatever. If you sing, if you dance. We've got one person who I think is going to play a classical instrument. So it's just anything. We really, really want diversity.
And thanks, Chelsea. Thanks very much, and we'll be along to have a look at that when the time comes.
Cool, thank you.
Samba de Sol have been adding lively music and dancing to many events in Nelson over the years. Tanya Knock leads the samba dance side of things and shares with us some of the unique difficulties that the group are facing. Tanya, thanks for taking a bit of time out to speak to us. Can you tell us a little bit about what's going on down here at Founders tonight?
Well, we've got Samba de Sol introduction course going on. We've got the first week, yeah.
And there's some noise across the way there. What's going on over there?
Yeah, that's the drumming. So we've got the drumming over there and we've got the dancing here.
And does this happen every week? Is it a workshop or just members?
Yeah, well, the band meet every week, but the intro course happens maybe 4 times a year.
And so you've got lots of people here. What's the problem? I see you're advertising.
Yeah, well, as you can see, we've got lots of lovely people here, but they're all girls. We need some boys as well.
Of course, you always need 2 when you're dancing, don't you?
Yeah, we do, yeah. And especially, like, we went to Wellington in March, and it was really, really obvious there were lots of young, sort of 18 to 30-year-old dancers, and it'd be great to get them in Nelson coming out.
We know you do lots of events around town, and we see Samba de Sol out whenever we see these kind of drumming and dancing. Have you got any events coming up that you're practicing up for?
Yeah, we've got Matariki coming up on the 17th of June on a Wednesday night. So we've got brass as well joining us for that, and, you know, big celebration. We need some more men to join us. Yeah.
Oh, we'll look forward to that, and thanks very much, Tanya.
Okay, cheers.
Roger Sanders is the man directing the percussion arm of the group and talks about the challenges that brings. Hey, that sounded fantastic in there. Can you tell us a little bit more about what you're doing over there?
Yeah, thank you. We're a samba band. We play Brazilian samba rhythms, and we also have dancers. And what I'm doing tonight is I've got a group of beginners, although listening to them you'd think they've been playing forever. Apart from some of the things I do in the samba band playing as a musician, I also run an introduction course, and they're beginners on an introduction course, and they're learning about Brazilian samba rhythms. They're learning how to play some basic rhythms that we play in the band, and they're learning all about the instruments and the different parts. And the idea is that they get a taste of what sort of thing goes on in Samba de Sol, and we get a sense of who's available who might be interested in joining the band.
Yeah, and that's great. I mean, we see Samba de Sol out and the band out all the time. They add a lot of lively themes to the events. It's fantastic. And how many members have you got in Samba de Sol? Because you see a lot.
Yeah, well, I was adding them up the other day and thinking we must have well over 60. Not necessarily everybody plays at once. You know, people come and go, and some people take a break, and then some people come back, and some people just stick around for absolutely everything. But I reckon we have way over 60 people. Yeah. And
I was talking to Tanya before. She was complaining about there was not enough men in her dance group, which we find surprising. How about you? You find that it's equal, or how's it?
Well, it's interesting. When we started off, it was equal, and you know, people come and go and they leave, and strangely enough, we've ended up with more women than men, and we're after some more blokes. Just just because we want it to be a nice equal balance of men and women, and we don't want people to feel like it's just a thing for women and that the men aren't welcome or whatever, because there's plenty of space for men in samba bands, and so we could do with a few more blokes.
Yeah. Roger, thanks very much for the time.
Yeah, well, no problem. Thanks very much for coming and talking to us. It's great. Yeah.
After the break, we'll bring you the latest weather update and some events and happenings coming up from around the region.
I'm Francis from Nelson Auto Glass. We repair all auto glass, stone chips, windscreen replacements, scratch removal.
If you have an autoglass issue, our team will sort it.
Nelson Autoglass Specialists, 84 Vanguard Street, Nelson.
Hi everyone, I'm Malcolm Harris from The Facilitators. We now look after sales for mainland TV, radio, Sky and online. New Zealand On Air's latest Colmar Brunton survey confirms mainland's large multimedia audience. If you're in business or want to put a message out to everyone in the Nelson Tasman region, plus nationwide on Sky or worldwide online, please give me a call or see our website at www.mainlandtv.nz.
We're the team at Jaycar, right here in Nelson, 120 Hardy Street. Our shop is full of electronic items,
including security alarm systems, electronic components,
solar and power,
electronics toys,
sound systems, cables and much, much more.
Jaycar. 120 Hardy Street, Nelson.
World War I was a defining period in our history, impacting greatly on the lives of people from the Nelson province. Memories of the First World War is an exhibition which will be displayed in a number of regional venues and is currently on at the Nelson Provincial Museum. Discover the Belgrove Tavern, just 20 minutes south of Richmond on State Highway 6. A restaurant, functions, weddings, barbecue, a garden bar with lots of room for kids. Come in, see us.
A lesson in history for your diary. Gallipoli, bursting the myths of the Anzac legend. Who were the Anzacs fighting at Gallipoli and why? And why did the ill-fated campaign go so badly wrong for our boys? Military historian and the author of New Zealand and the First World War, Dr. Damien Fenton, will be presenting a public lecture on the 9-month Gallipoli campaign from the other side of the coin at 7:30 p.m, Thursday the 28th of May in the Masonic Hall in Niles Street. It's a gold coin donation. On behalf of the team here at Mainland Television News, thank you for joining us, and we'll bring you the latest news and events from around the region again tomorrow.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand On Air.
Hi there, this is Paul Ego from the 2 Degrees Comedy Convoy, and you are watching Mainland TV, unless you're on an island out in the Sounds, in which case you're probably just watching some rocks and a seagull defecating on a raft.
Hi, my name's Ian Mortimer. Mortimer Auto Upholstery is your one-stop shop for all your upholstery needs. We do car and boat interiors, boat canopies, ute tonneau covers, canvas and PVC fabrication. Call in and see us in Oxford Mews, 72 Oxford Street, Richmond.
Are you looking for a scooter, walker, wheelchair, baby seats or pushchairs? Then come in and see the Nelson Region Specialists at Mobility for You, 269 Queen Street, Richmond, opposite the library. We have a huge selection of scooters, walkers, wheelchairs and accessories, along with a free booklet guide. We also provide a breakdown service if you ever get a puncture or a flat battery. We have fully equipped service vans to rescue you. Hi, I'm Robin Jordan, and I invite you to call in and see the friendly team at Mobility for You, 269 Queen Street, Richmond, opposite the library.